trip out to L.A., just cruising along in my Chevrolet, toking on a number and digging on the radio. Just as I crossed the Mississippi line, well, I heard that highway starting to whine, and I knew that left rear tire was about to go. Well, the spare was flat, and I got uptight, because there wasn't a filling station in sight, so I just limped on down the shoulder on the rim. Went as far as I could, and when I stopped the car, it was right in front of this little bar, sort of a redneck-looking joint called the Dewdrop Inn. Well, I stuffed my hair up under my hat, and I told the bartender that I had a flat. Would he be kind enough to give me change for one? Well, one thing I was sure proud to see, there wasn't no one in the place except for him and me. He just looked at me disgusted and pointed towards the telephone. Well, I called the station down the road a ways. He said he wasn't very busy today, and he'd have a man down there in about 10 minutes or so. He said, you just stay right where you're at, and I didn't even bother to tell the damn fool that I sure as hell didn't have any other place to go. I just ordered me a beer, sat down at the bar, when some dude walks in and said, who owns this car? The peace sign, the mag wheels, or on the floor? Well, he looked at me and I damn near died. I decided I'd best just wait outside, so I laid $1 on the bar and headed toward the door. Now, just when I thought I'd get out of there with my skin, well, these 5 big dudes come strolling in with this one old drunk bitch, some fella with green teeth. And I was almost to the door when the biggest one said, you tip your hat to this lady, son, and when I did, all of my hair fell out from underneath. Now, the last thing I wanted was to get in a fight in Jackson, Mississippi on a Saturday night, especially there was 5 of them and only 1 of me. And they all started laughing, and I felt real sick, and I knew I'd better think of something pretty quick, so I reached out and kicked old green teeth right in the knee. Well, he let out a yell that would curl your hair, but before he could move, well, I grabbed me a chair and said, watch him, folks, he's a fairly dangerous man. I said, you may not know it, but this man's a spy. He's an undercover agent for the FBI, been sent down here to infiltrate the KKK. He was still been over holding on to his knee, but everybody else was looking and listening to me as I laid it on thicker and heavier as I went along. I said, would you believe he has gone as far as tearing wall stickers off the bumpers of cars? He voted for George McGovern for president. Well, he's a friend of them, a long-haired, hippie-type, pink old bags. Now I'll just bet you he's even got a commie flag tacked up on the wall inside of his garage. He's a snake in the grass, I'll tell you guys. He may look dumb, that's just a disguise. He's a mastermind in the ways of espionage. Now they all started looking real suspicious at him, and he jumped up and said, now just wait a minute, Jim. You know he's lying. I've been living here all of my life. Why, I'm a faithful follower of Brother John Birch, and I belong to the Antioch Baptist Church, and hell, I even got a garage. And call home and ask my wife. Started to say something about the way I was dressed, but I didn't wait around to hear the rest. I was too busy moving and hoping my luck didn't run out. When I hit the dirt, I was making tracks. They were just taking my car down off the jack, so I threw the man a 20 and jumped in and fired that mother up. And old Mario Andretti would have sure been proud of the way I was moving when I passed that crowd coming out the door and headed towards me in a trot. And I guess I should have gone ahead and run, but somehow I just couldn't resist the fun of chasing them all just once around the parking lot. Well, they headed for their car, but I hit the gas, spun around and headed them off the pass. I was slinging gravel, putting a ton of dust in the air. Boy, you should have seen them pitching and fetching like their heads was on fire and their asses was catching, but I better split before the cops got there. When I hit the road, I was really wheeling. I had gravel flying, rubber squealing, and I didn't slow down until I was almost to Arkansas. Well, I think I'm going to reroute my trip. I wonder if anybody would think I flipped if I went to L.A. by Omaha.